On today's show, let's find out what Markus McCracken has been up to in finding accessible video games over the holidays. Spoiler alert, he found a few. And Mary Mammoliti has us covered again in the kitchen with tips on returning back to our routine post-holidays. I know, here we are again with the same old routine. Yep.
This is Kelly and Company.
And I'm joined today by Nisreen Abdul-Majid. Niz, what's happening over there in your world?
It's still cold outside.
Okay, I'll send you some snow because, Londoners are very generous and we have a pile of it here. And this is the second time this winter season, I'll say, not this year, we've got more snow than we know what to do with. So you people out in the GTA, we certainly don't mind giving you a helping hand and being generous. You know that.
And Kelly, what's funny is that I'm wearing a thick flannel shirt. It's pretty much a coat at this point from how thick it is. And on your end, you're wearing this button-up, very light, different shades of color, different shades of blue shirt, button up, and it has a sort of pattern that you could see somebody on vacation wearing. So we're on different ends. We're on opposite ends here.
Now, my reasoning for this, ladies and gentlemen, I really picked the shirt out intentionally for today and thinking, I'm in that mood for the spring, the summer. No, I'm trying to encourage the Toronto Blue Jays, baseball, summer, to make some moves in the off season. Help us out, ladies and gentlemen. Sign some of these free agents out there. So I'm wearing a theme shirt because I would never wear a baseball hat in this. I just... No, my head doesn't. No. It just doesn't suit.
Yeah, I get you. You stick to one type of hat.
Yeah, one kind, multiple kinds of them, but definitely am that definite fedora guy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, stick with what you know. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, it's a brand new year. And why not try something new in the world of arts and culture? And Amy Amantea, as just the person to encourage us to expand our creativity. Better dust off those old jazz hands, right? Better warm up these old pipes. Me. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. Right? And action. Happy New Year, Amy.
Happy New Year to you both. I hope you had a good holiday.
A wonderful time. Glad to have you back with us. I know we've been keeping you busy working behind the scenes with our show. We've been also hearing you over on AMI Today. So lots going on. But as an artist, where you're also very busy and a lover of the arts in general, you wanted to encourage us to kick off the new year with looking for new ways to get involved with the arts. Now, first off, just so we get into this, as we love to talk arts in some form here, what do we mean when we talk arts and culture here? Is it just plays we're referring to?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. I think when we talk about arts and culture, people get really intimidated by that because arts and culture feels kind of scary. It feels like if you aren't educated about arts and culture, you might look at a painting and go, oh, I don't know what that means, right?
Right.
Or, people, I often say this about the opera, that they would sit in seats and go, well, it's too sophisticated for me. Whereas actually opera was made for poor people of all, way back. It was made for the poor people. So arts and culture can be anything really that you want it to be. So art can be all about things that you make. The culture part can be all about ritual and sparking conversation, spirituality. So there's all sorts of different ways in which we can engage with these different parts of our lives, experiential parts of our lives. So I would say that you don't have to be classically trained in anything artistic to be able to explore some type of creativity or something that is a routine in your life that can have a creative outlet. In fact, even I would say going out in nature and just appreciating and feeling plants can also be considered, spiritual, artistic in some way, right? So I don't want people to be afraid of trying something new. because the
Natural
term
art.
arts and culture sounds so intimidating.
Over your lifetime, have you,
Mm-hmm.
when we're kids, you hear what art is. When, again, I think we go to the plays, the choir, doing band. We hear about classical music and all some of the things that we are then told this is the umbrella of art. Oh, let's throw in painting because you like doing art class. I think that's probably the one I slid there because that's probably the one that I knew of first, as a matter of fact. But over the years, our time, Amy, we have seen different things emerge in the world of arts, and I'm sure over time, over history, going back to, like you say, the days of opera, Sophocles, everything has changed, and different things are connected with art. Can you name a couple of things that come to your mind as a theater person? I think fringe festivals, that style, what that is, and what we made inclusive in theater when it comes to that. Things that come to your mind.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, Kelly? Fringe is a really great example of how art has changed. Circus, I think, is a great example
Yes.
of what it was and what it is now, and how it's changed over the years, and what people have done with the medium. Certainly in accessibility, right? Because I think a lot of people would say, oh, well, geez, how do you do that as somebody who lives with a disability? There's all sorts of things that you wouldn't think would be traditional circus. In fact, I myself am going to be exploring some circus stuff. And I thought to myself when I was offered the opportunity, well, I don't know that I want to hang from silks from a ceiling. And I don't know that I have the body shape to angle upside down from a trapeze. But you could do circus stuff from the floor. You could do all sorts of things. So it's about body expression for me, and that can be considered circus. So I think that there's all sorts of medium. Mime is a great medium.
I was just
Clowning
going to
is a
mention
great
that.
medium.
Yeah, me too. I was
Yeah.
thinking of them, and I was thinking how they have changed so much. Magic, incorporating it as much as magic was always magic. We know it's an art form.
Yeah.
Nazreen, how about you? What do you consider, or what have you always considered the arts?
Honestly, for me, it's any way of expressing yourself creatively. That's how I think of it. So whether it's
Ooh, I like
dancing
that.
or honestly, like any way of thinking of it in a creative way, can be considered art.
Okay. Amy, do we still have those people who are more rigid about it? Do you run into them once in a while? I know we're all kind of partial to the things we enjoy, we feel we're creative at, or just love to observe.
Yeah, it's a funny thing to me. When I'm in museums, when I get the opportunity to travel and I get to go to art galleries, it's a privilege to be able to experience some art galleries. And I think to myself, sometimes I stand beside somebody who's in a gallery and they're doing what you call slow looking in a gallery.
Yep.
Oftentimes in a gallery for sighted folks, you walk past something, you look at it for 5 seconds, and then you move on, and you're not really absorbing what's in it. But soft looking or long gazing, they call all sorts of different things. They ask you to look at something for 5 minutes, and that's actually a very long time.
It is.
So when you're standing beside somebody, some people give themselves a lot of credit for how much of a critique they are about artists, and have no no basis for that, right? So It's so interesting when I stand next to somebody who is witnessing a Jackson Pollock, which basically is like a bunch of flicks
Splatter.
of paint on a canvas. Which, I mean, if you learn about Jackson Pollock, it's more than that. But
for sure,
to the naked eye, air quotes, that's what it is. And they're like, oh no, but I see this in there, and oh, I see this in there. It's like, really,
They try so hard.
Sure
They
do.
try so hard.
They try so hard.
They try so
it's
hard. Yeah, absolutely. I've been there. I know the people. I know people like that, and it's it's so annoying, to be honest, sometimes, because you're like, you don't see what they see, and they're probably just saying it just to please themselves.
Yeah, I used to have a problem when we'd get actors critiquing plays because they look at it from a different eye, and they get a little beyond the average theater person wanting to go and enjoy a show who likes live theater, and you get a lot of the, oh my goodness, it's like somebody writing a play with a thesaurus hanging off of their shoulder because, oh, I gotta look up a neat word to use here, I'll look up another neat word to use at the end of the sentence, and it becomes just too diluted, Amy.
And the question about critiquing theater performances is the intersectionality of it, right? So do we have a white straight man critiquing an indigenous piece of work? Because that changes culturally the perspective and the understanding of the work. And even in community theater here in Vancouver, we're getting a lot of directors that are, because critics are everywhere. Some of the big critics here in Vancouver are being asked not to critique the acting because this is community theater. And so the last thing you want is, well, Amy Amantea sucked in this particular production. Don't go see it, blah, 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 blah. Because it's community theater, right? So it's not about the acting. It's that community theater is about heart and love and participation and all of those things. So yeah, we try and steer critics away from critiquing the acting chops of somebody in community theater.
The joy and the let's pretend of it all. And what are some opportunities that you have found that people might find interesting to explore as we kick into a new year?
Well, I was looking for some things that were a little bit more unique or off the beaten path. Like you said, it's not choir, it's not, band, it's not a play. So I found some things at the National Access Arts Center in Calgary. These things I would do. So one of them is a poetry slam. That sounds super cool. And these are workshops. No experience is necessary for these. So this one runs from January 31st to March the 7th. And you go and you learn how to express yourself through the power of storytelling. And that can come from all different parts of who you are or what you want to talk about. And they'll help you cultivate with different techniques, right? I only wish that this was remote from Vancouver, to be honest with you. But because I've been dabbling in slam poetry for a while now.
That.
So, right, this seems really cool to me.
Because I used to do that. I used to love slam poetry. We used to do this in high school, and I even took it as a hobby after high school. And we had a club of slam poetry, and it was so amazing. My friend took it up a notch, and she was performing in different places doing slam poetry. So it was like, it really is beautiful, just the different stories that people tell, the way they express themselves, the way they take that story and put it in a different angle. It circulates. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Ladies, who would you feel? We know it's open to anybody. We know we would encourage anybody to do it. But in your observations of slam poetry, who do you feel has emerged as a community that has really taken this on as a form of speaking? Aim, any ideas? What are your feelings on that, or am I grabbing at straws here with this?
You're not grabbing at straws at all, Kelly. The disability community for certain has taken slam poetry on big time. And also the 2S LGBTQAI plus community has taken slam poetry to like the next level because, there's a lot of systemic and social justice conversations that are being had. And slam poetry is a very successful mode of sharing some of those stories.
Niz, did you find that when your involvement? How about culture?
Absolutely. I agree with Amy on that. In addition to that, I've been following Middle Eastern slam poetry where they express themselves on how, everything that's been going on, justice system is screwed. They took it in a different level, different perspective. It's so powerful to hear people's stories. So it really makes a difference, and it makes people listen.
Excellent.
It's like the modern day protest song.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. And Amy,
that's
I think
perfect way to look at it.
And with the workshops that you're talking about, I love the use of the word finding one's voice with it. And the way they want to just deliver, but also a lot of that, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to rhyme or do your poetry about? So really cool. What else? Oh, you want to tell us how we get involved?
Yeah, you just need to reach out to the National Access Arts Center in Calgary. You just Google them and you can register right on their website. It's $120, and like it's a weekly program. $120, like
That's great.
you can't beat that.
Oh,
So
what a way
check
to
that out.
explore, experience, and get some feedback. What else do you have for us?
Well, also from the National Access Arts Center. So if you want to do a couple of different things, kicking off your 2025 is a miniature worlds workshop. Miniature worlds. Okay. So I love this idea. This is introduction to theatrical model making. So whether you're into theater or film or just miniature worlds in general, they're going to teach you, no experience necessary in this 10-week class, how to create these miniature like rooms and spaces, small spaces.
That's so
So
cool.
I even think this is interesting if you want to learn how to be like a home designer or have a room in your house that you're like, I'd like to redesign my bedroom, like how do I place my furniture and what could be cool and how to match colors and all of that kind of stuff. Like this is like, where else do you find places like this to do this kind of creative stuff?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've never kind of found a place where you can, like, I could take a pottery class at 9,000 different places. I've never seen a workshop and how to create miniature worlds.
Never
Wow.
even thought about it.
Nope.
Right?
No, you would
It's
think something
cool
like
stuff.
claymation first, right? But this is also, if you're a set designer, I'm always been blown away by the set designers that I know they read the script and they already in their head, whoosh, up comes what they picture. Now they'll do their tweaks. They'll look at the space. They'll figure where we're going to be, that kind of thing, what really is needed, what they can get their hands on. There's so many different things. But so many of us struggle with, as you said, space. What would I do? What do I picture? Are we able to be creative enough to draw upon the things we've seen in life, not copy them, but develop upon that and make your own unique space for you, whether it's for a stage set, whether it's for your bedroom at home, whether it's for a place that you're opening as a place of business, Amy. And this is so much further than the arts, isn't it?
Oh, it's just another way, as Nazreen put it, of finding a way to be creative, to express yourself. And, they may be teaching you miniature worlds. They may be teaching you slam poetry, right? And that doesn't mean that you have to follow the models that are given. It's a workshop, which means that you get to explore. They'll offer you techniques. They'll offer you suggestions of how to do things. And if you say to yourself, yeah, you know what? I know we're supposed to design a chair today, but I feel like doing an ottoman. That's totally cool, right? Like that's the idea of a workshop, is you have mentors there, you have fellow people there that you can riff off of, that you can do projects together with, and that also builds community. And that's another thing that I just love about the arts,
Networking
is that it
too.
brings people together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love that part of
absolutely.
it, for sure.
Yeah.
If we want to register, Aim, what do we see here? $250. Really, again, you can't beat the price.
$250, yeah. No, and this one I think will include a lot of the materials, which is why it's a little bit more of a larger price. Yeah.
Yeah, really good. 10 classes? Did I see that somewhere? Yeah, okay.
Yep, 10 classes.
Good.
And register at the same place through the same website, National Access Arts Center in Calgary.
Okay. And your final piece is interesting.
And my final piece is interesting because if you are just wanting to do traditional theater, which is totally cool, and you need something to go out to get yourself out, because it's probably snowy in Calgary, just like it is in Toronto and in London. It's not in Vancouver. It's rainy here, but we don't have any snow. A streetcar named Desire, which is, of course, I hope everybody knows, is a Pulitzer Prize winning masterpiece by Tennessee Williams, is being put on in Calgary at Theatre Calgary. And they've got several different opportunities to experience accessible performances. So they've got a relaxed performance, they've got ASL interpreted performance, and they've got an audio description performance. And so, they're doing their best to provide opportunities for as many people as possible to see classic works. And maybe you just haven't been able to see a classic work like a Tennessee Williams piece.
I put this up there, of course, when we talk of classic plays. ones, I mean, a lot of artists, theatrical people, if they're really into it, whether you're on the community level, professional level, you think of, okay, how many Shakespeare plays have I done? How many Sophocles and some of those things. But when you talk about classics that are more closer to our modern time, Streetcar Named Desire, Death of a Salesman, these are the ones that pop into your head, Aim.
Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, there are so many of them that pop into your pop into your mind, and some of them I would say I would, Waiting for Godot is,
Sure.
A bit of for me, it's a bit of a nap, but the
not
thing
enough
about
speech,
it is,
that's why, right? There's not enough talking in that one for us.
If you are an artist like I am, people talk about these plays, and so I have to be familiar with some of them, because then I'm like the odd person out who's like, oh, that play?
Yeah,
right.
The water cooler theatrical talk.
Yeah, somebody was talking about The Doll's House the other day, and I was like, I've heard of that, but I don't know what it's about. And it's like, everybody knows about it but me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to read up on that one. So there you go. But
All right.
Tennessee Williams, The Streetcar Named Desire, has been spoofed by everybody, including The Simpsons. So,
well, especially the Stella. Aim,
Stella!
just art of the new year, and there's so many different choices. Now, let's see if I can do the Blanche Dubois line here. You can always depend on the kindness of strangers. No.
I love it. I love your Southern.
But Amy, as our arts and culture contributor, fantastic bringing the stuff to the table. You won't be a stranger for too long. We'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks. Thanks.
Thanks, friends.
Thanks, Amy.
So what I didn't know is poetry slam stuff. What other art stuff did you do in school?
Oh, I was in drama class, and I was obsessed. I was obsessed with drama class. I loved acting. I loved doing every kind of character. I made my own monologues in school and acted them out. It was, that was my favorite part.
Anything post school? Like, did you ever do community theater like Amy was mentioning?
I did a little bit. I dabbled, but got too busy, got sick in a lot of times, so I couldn't commit to an actual play, and it was hard to commit to something when you have so much going on. But I would have loved to. Yeah.
Well, again, what I always say to people with community theater, especially, it's never too late. It's always wonderful to play Let's Pretend. And there are so many different facets, so many needs. London here has always had a fairly rich theater community. It struggles, but we've had great venues in which to put shows on. And when Fringe Festival comes around and there isn't quite the venue you'd like, you bring your own venue. And there are just so many different things that people are able to do by just simply stopping and saying, hey, all I got to do is rent a space, and I could put my own show on. And like you were talking about writing, whether it's your monologues or incorporate. There's so many places now, whether you do spoken word storytelling, poetry slam, that avail themselves once or twice a year in most people's locations in some form or not too far away. So really urge that. I always find it interesting. And some of the name, like Amy said, the name dropping of the shows that you stop and say, that sounds familiar. What the heck is that? But it's the stuff. If you're involved in those communities, you know. Oh gosh, yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. And what I was getting at with those who do Shakespeare, it's kind of the things you have in your repertoire. Oh yeah, I did Death of a Salesman.
Shakespeare was tough for me though.
Oh yeah, real tough.
Yeah,
I think my favorite was Julius Caesar.
We had to act it out, and it was
Yeah.
We had to act out some monologues from Shakespeare, and it was so hard. I couldn't do it.
Memorizing and understanding, right? Because it's just not
exactly.
It's English, but it's not my language.
You have to, in order to act it out. I feel like you have to understand the monologue, and it was just it was not a strong suit for me. Yeah,
folks, you can email us. kellyco@ami.ca. We'd love to hear from you. Drop us a line. Let us know what's happening. You can also call us at 1-866-509-4545. Again, leave a message there. The gang in marketing will feed it over to us, and we'll get that opportunity to talk with you in some form, or at least hear from you. We always love hearing from you, and if we can, we'll give you some feedback here on the program. Well, let's talk a little holiday gaming because somebody got presents or money to get presents at Christmas time. Happy New Year, Marcus. Welcome back.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you guys as well.
Happy New
So,
Year.
as an avid video gamer, what did you do over the holidays? I mean, I know you sat and enjoyed. It's that excuse. Everybody else is busy. I'm just going to sit here and play games.
Well, almost, but not quite. Because I was able to get some gift cards for my consoles, I actually purchased Mortal Kombat 1, and I decided to experiment with Rock Band 4 Rivals as well. Now, Mortal Kombat I've discussed once before regarding the accessibility, so I thought I'd
Right.
purchase it and finally have that go-to game on my PS5. And utilizing the audio cues, which I do believe Street Fighter 6 started, but it's now over in Mortal Kombat. It's works excellent. Like there's screen readers all over the menus. The audio cues is excellent. I've yet to master the fatality though, so that's a adventure on its own.
Is that due to the accessibility or just your skill set with the game?
That's just my skill set. I've never been good at the button mashing for the fatality, so I just hope for the best.
Nazreen, can you teach him that?
Oh yeah, I'm a professional at button mashing.
Button masher? Me too. That's
That's
about
all
all
I
I can do. So, Marcus, what is your process? So you decide I'm going to get it, and I love the fact that you're giving this thumbs up on its accessibility. You get it, you get going. What is your process? What do you recommend for people out there in our situation who are saying, I just don't know if I want to take the chance? I mean, we get you on here, we get you talking about it. You get out there and do enough demo videos and stuff like that. So there's that piece that for you is rewarding to be able to talk and share it with people, but that person sitting at home saying, well, I just kind of would like to mess around with it, but I don't know if I want to invest in it. What should that person do if they invest in it to kind of find out some of the things? Would they obviously listen to someone like yourself, but now that they've heard you or you've gone out to get the game, where do you start with your process on road testing this?
So as an avid gamer, a lot of it's because I know what I'm kind of looking for in games, but at the same time, these days it's accessibility wise, especially when it comes to screen readers, and of course the cost. If you're new to gaming and the cost is going to scare you and you got the right subscriptions, always check for the demo. You can't go wrong with a demo. You usually get 1 to 10 hours of a demo gameplay. So always check for the demos. And if you're lucky, the game has the accessibility in there with the demo. Now it's going to be lack because it's only a demo process, but that might help you in your decision to purchase it or read up on it as well. Look for other content creators. That's usually the way I go, depending on the game scenario. So Mortal Kombat.
If you find that demo just before you continue with Mortal Kombat, will it show that it's got this accessibility in it, or is it again download, open it, and go try it?
It really all depends. So Mortal Kombat, you can go to the game menu, like on for instance, the PlayStation Store, and if you push the triangle button, it'll bring up the sub menus of what's actually in the game for the accessibility. Now, not all games will do that, so sometimes it's a hit and miss and a guessing game. So if you're lucky, that's already there, but that's how I would normally determine. I would go check out the game in the game store, hit that triangle. I believe it's the same on the Xbox as well, and you will see if there's accessibility implemented into the game already.
Okay. Let's get into Mortal Kombat and see what you guys have to say about this thing. Go ahead, Marcus. Where are we starting?
Always do. Mortal Kombat's got a training mode, so you can go in there, and if you utilize a lot of the accessibility, I would recommend utilizing the audio cues. I'm still learning how to use those, so I'm still guessing and hoping for the best. But recommend the training, and I'm highly into the story mode aspect of it. Now, they do have audio description. I do not use it. I tried using that on another game I played, and it just took the enjoyment out for me. But I'm not used to using audio description. But it's all in Mortal Kombat 1.
Wow. Wow. I again, not necessarily. I'm not a gamer enough. I think I'd go crazy and you'd never see me again if I disappeared playing any of these. But when I think of audio description, I'm not even sure I would understand how that would go, because I obviously don't understand the game enough. But others who I'm sure are listening in are like, "What are you talking about? Do you know how wonderful that would be?" Nazreen, do you relate to any of the accessibility? Because yours are more visual, but what do you do to make a game like this? I don't know if you play Mortal Kombat more accessible.
I do play Mortal Kombat, and it's honestly so much fun, and I love the accessibility to it. Yeah, there is some description to it visually. It's hard. I prefer audio description more than anything than taking like an hour to read what's on the screen that's in tiny tiny writing in the corner. So it's not beneficial. You know what I mean. And I told you this, that I'm the type of person that will stand in front of the TV, so close to the TV, taking up the whole space, and like I said, the people around me hate it. So the accessibility to this game is just amazing. Like, I love the fact that I can do audio description. I don't have to worry about reading anything, and it's just there for you. So
How
take
long
advantage.
have you had it, Niz?
It's been 6 months or so.
Wow. Okay.
I'm on and off of it. Like, I switch games. Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed, guys, knowing this stuff is there. It's so exciting, and what a frontier. And again, if you're wanting to get into gaming, Marcus, and you're really not into it, and you pick something like this up because we're talking about it, is it overwhelming to a person more than it would be that sighted person just jumping in and playing the game? Or would you have to remind yourself, this is a game, this is a process? The accessibility doesn't hinder your learning the game. It doesn't make it longer. Do you feel it's a matter of just learn the game and use the tools that you need that are provided for you?
Absolutely. If you're absolutely looking to get into something new and gaming might be that venture you're looking into, remember it is a game. Most games do have different settings you can use for like easy, hard, whatever. Try it on the easy. And as you learn how to manipulate the game itself, even if you're using little to no accessibility, the learning process is there. So it's depending on the game, it is simple to pick up and learn. But always remember, it is a game first. It's not meant to get you upset in any way, I guess I'm trying to say. Always remember, it's a game.
Yeah, I did get frustrated at first. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
Well, think of the people trying to play the game with you, and you're standing and blocking the screen. They need a projector to show it off your back.
Yeah, I was frustrated at first. I didn't like use the accessibility features in the beginning, and I don't know. When I started gaming, I didn't know there were so many accessibility features to games, so it was all new to me, and it got so much easier.
And you go with what you know.
So much better. Yeah.
Right? At first, and knowing it's there. Yeah, I'll try that sometime. Yeah, I'll try it sometime. Right now, I just want to play the game. I got a headache. I just want to sit back and relax and play the game. I'll try them another time. So I think that is the selling point and the understanding of accessibility for so many of us, because if you didn't grow up with it, I mean, in 10 years, 15 years, people with disabilities who need the accessibility are going to be, it's just, well, what do you mean there's not accessibility on, what the heck? When it's at all possible, but there won't be some of that attitude of, well, I'm just used to this. I'm used to doing it this way. I don't know how much that's going to help me. I just want to play the game. You picked up Rock Band for Rivals. Is that right? What's this? And what brought you to grabbing this, Marcus?
Okay, so I used to play all the music games a while back, and because of how I know Rock Band is, don't pick it up knowing that I picked it up knowing there's no accessibility, but that's just a music genre that happened years ago. And because of the screen, I don't know if it's called a track, but where all your notes go down, it's already a gray color. And the colors, of course, that are going across that screen is color coordinated with your game controls. So a long time ago, I memorized it. And because it was dirt cheap, I picked it up. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to memorize everything again. Right now, I don't have the proper equipment. I do have the built-in microphone, so I can literally just sit there and hum with the music and hope I succeed.
Nice.
But I'm hoping with my memory and the controls, I think I will be able to utilize it again, just the way I know I can see the colors on the screen, no problem. So that's what I'm going for. $13 on the store is a dirt cheap. So I
Yeah, for
decided to
sure.
give it a try.
Okay. What do you have for us next month?
Next month, I will be looking more into Call of Duty 6, the newest one, and jumping into Indiana Jones, both on the Xbox.
I
Okay.
tried the Call of
Excellent.
Duty. It was really good. You're gonna
Yeah,
Okay.
love it.
I'm enjoying the story so far.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll look forward to that conversation. And if people want to reach out to Marcus for inquiries, just to connect, reach out to Marcus at, let me see if I get this right, Marcus, GBITG dot Marcus dot com at gmail
That's
dot com. Excuse me.
at gmail.com, correct.
Fantastic, pal. We'll talk to you next month. Thanks a lot. Have fun.
Thank you. You guys
Thanks,
have a good
Marcus.
day.
Markus McCracken joins us once a month here on Kelly and Company. We try to reach out to through social media every day whenever we can. And Nazreen had some fun yesterday with a interesting coffee chat when we were on the program. I also learned a few things, but let's do results first, and then I've got a little article I'd like to share.
Yeah, we were talking about coffee and tea, and we posted on X asking you guys which one are you more addicted to? And 29% of you guys said coffee, 29% of you guys said tea, 29% said I love both equally. Liars. I don't believe
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah, I
then
wish I could say that
13%
one.
said neither, not a fan.
Wow.
When people say, "Oh, I love both equally," I'm like, no, there has to be a favorite. There has to be one that you would prefer to drink in the morning, whether you prefer to drink it at night. But that was, yeah, we had lots of engagement on this poll, and it's a popular topic. I mean, there's not many people who say no, not a fan. So
Yeah.
there was only 13%
When I
who said
saw
that.
the either or, that's kind of where I sat there and said, yeah, but if you put out 3 cups of coffee, 3 cups of tea, you're going to have the coffee Kelly done before you even get through any of the tea. Like, I like
Yeah.
my tea, but it's just the go-to, and I don't know if that's more of a mental thing or addiction thing. Morning coffee may protect, ladies and gentlemen, the heart better than all-day coffee drinking. This item. This is part of a feature that was done, a survey that was done. Took over 20 years to get this done. People who drink coffee in the morning have a lower chance of dying of cardiovascular disease and a lower mortality rate compared to all-day coffee drinkers. This is research that was published in the European Heart Journal. Research so far suggests that drinking coffee does not break the risk of cardiovascular disease, but it seems to lower the risk of some chronic diseases, such as type 2 diabetes. And of course, we always think about the effects that caffeine has on our body. They wanted to see in this study if when you drank it had any impact on the heart health. It included about 47,000 people, adults, that took part in this survey through the U.S. They looked at death records over about 20 years compared with people who did not drink coffee, and morning drinkers of coffee were 16% less likely to die of any of the causes and 31% less likely to die of cardiovascular disease. However, there was no reduction in risk for all-day coffee drinkers compared to non-coffee drinkers at all. So, what do you think of this, Nazreen? Oh, one other thing, just to support your obsession, fixation, addiction to coffee. It
Whatever you
doesn't
call
really
it.
matter how many cups of coffee you have in the morning. Suggested before noon is what they're referring to. So heavy coffee drinkers, more than 3 cups, it didn't really have any factor. The only thing is if you only had 1 cup a year, you had a slight less likely, a little decrease in the risk of it. So it didn't really improve things that much.
Yeah, see, I drink coffee throughout the day, but that's so interesting. The results are interesting. I would say I'm a morning coffee drinker, but I can't lie. The coffee, I need it throughout the day. It's not just the morning. Fixation, addiction, whatever you call it, right, Kels?
Oh, for exactly which one of these applies depends on the day. If you want to reach out to us through social media at Kelly and Co AMI, please do so. We're always looking for that conversation. You can reach us that way, and Nisreena's always happy to engage or have you engage in some of the conversations that we have. Mary Mammoliti standing by here, and Mary, I welcome you to the show. But I've got something that I think Mary, Niz, yourself, a lot of our listeners and viewers out there checking us out on YouTube or listening in on AMI Audio or the podcast will find fantastic. This is from Newsweek. This is a food and nutrition reporter. Chocolate could become more ethical and environmentally friendly, Mary. Here's the reasoning. This is what this is all about. And this could start as soon as 2026. Now that scientists in the United Kingdom have developed a potential alternative to palm oil. Palm oil, of course, is a vegetable oil that is easy to produce. It's also cheaper to produce, but it's also known to be very harmful to the environment. It's used in foods such as chocolate, candy, baked goods, chips, ice cream, margarine, instant noodles, breakfast cereals, peanut butter, processed meats, and more. Palm oil is also used to make cosmetics such as moisturizers and lip balms and other products such as biofuels. Now, it's a huge demand for this. If things stay the same, they expect the need for it, the demand for it to increase by 40% within the next 10 years alone. So scientists at Wales University, in collaboration with startup Sunbear Biofuture, discovered a way that they could ferment these and produce an oil that has similar properties without its damaging effects. Ben Williams, co-founder of Sunbear, said our alternative to palm oil has a lower carbon footprint. Yay! We always love to hear that. Less of a reliance on land. So they're trying to get this more developed, trying to scale up the production of this oil and maybe get it out there by 2026. But of course, Mayor, we love the idea right off the top that this could really help us reduce the negative footprint, but maybe even be a health alternative. Have you heard anything about this?
I've been hearing a few things about it, but I haven't been diving into it yet, because for me, palm oil, one, again, like you mentioned, it's horrible for the environment, and in foods. I mean, it's high in saturated fats.
Right.
So
Yep.
Hearing about the alternative, I'm excited, but again, cautious. Because once there's something that's lab grown, manufactured, I don't know. I'm really I don't know enough about it.
Well,
how
and
that
this didn't cover a lot of the health benefit, if any. We're quick to say, hey, yay, I could eat more chocolate, it'd be healthy.
Right.
If you're in that situation. We don't know this. We just know right now the footprint on the world, hey, and that's positive. That's a good thing, but a lot of us jump to that conclusion.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one thing to help reduce the amount of damage it's doing to our world.
Right.
And our forests and all that. But another thing, when you're talking about it with food, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, and again, like you mentioned, it's hidden in a lot of our foods.
Well, look at chips alone. That stuff in a lot of chips is right all over it. You know that. What is this? Because that's what they by nature are. And you got some greasy old chips.
And we ignore it.
Palm oil laden. We do, because it's good.
We do. It's too good. We ignore it in the ingredients. So you think palm oil. Oh, that sounds exotic. That sounds tropical. That sounds nice. No, wrong.
So how often do you guys look at the ingredients?
Never.
I always do.
Really?
I leave it to Mary to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, Mary's the expert. She can
That's
tell
my
us
job.
what's good or
but
not.
yeah, I always do. Definitely. Do I shy away from foods that may have palm oil? No, not necessarily. I wish I could say I did. But I do shy away from a lot of them, because then depending on how much is in there. I mean, if the closer it is, the closer it is to the word ingredients, the more cautious you have to be. So if palm oil is further down on the ingredient list, chances are, I mean, I'm not saying it is, but chances are there's less of it. Whereas if palm oil was right at the beginning, if you look after ingredients and it says palm oil, water, oh, well, palm oil is up front. And you know that we're leading with that. So there's a lot of it.
And you certainly find
Yeah.
that in chips, but other things it would be much more concealed. Ladies and gentlemen, remember to check out our podcast from your platform of choice and give us a rating and review if you would, please. Mary returns to the program. Mary Mammoliti joining us as we talk every week. We're in a new year, Mary, and we want to talk a little bit about returning to our routines as we talk about smarter meal prep. You also have a tangy food trend to share with us and a fresh and crunchy meal that will be sure to be something we'll be keeping in our meal plans coming up. So let's talk about do's and don'ts when it comes to our meal prep, Mary.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm about to sneeze.
Well, that's not part of my meal prep.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, that's one of those things you can go out past the dining room there.
I'm sorry. It was happening. I felt the itch, and I'm like,
The tickle
I am
in your
about
nose.
to sneeze.
Yeah.
Oh,
First thing you do for your meal prep, make sure you take that outside.
Nothing around the food, please.
Try
Right
the
away.
deep nose breath. Try that. That usually chases the tickle away.
And in all the
With-
years that I've been doing this, that has never happened. This was the first. Whew,
Well,
okay.
yeah, but it's kind of like wondering what's there in your
tempting.
nose or whatever on your teeth that you have no idea because no one said in your ear, Mary, there's a... Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're all good. I'm not going to sneeze. I've got it under control.
Catch you.
So I put together a list of 5 do's and don'ts, and I'm going to run through them really quickly. So when it comes to meal prepping, the first one I want to talk about is pick a prep date, right? Choose that date. Choose a date that's relaxing. So for me, that's a Sunday, and then you shop and prep your meals on that day. So prepping on the same day, I want you to prep and shop on the exact same day. The reason why I'm saying this is because it keeps everything organized. So it alleviates the clutter in your refrigerator. It eliminates food waste because then you're prepping it and nothing is aging and wilting and doing its
Right.
thing in the refrigerator by the time you get to that meal prep day. Don't overdo it. Be reasonable. Think about this. Start prepping meals, maybe 2 to 3 days of worth of meals a week, right? Start there. Start at 2, go to 3, keep things fresh, exciting. Honestly, over prepping, it leads to boredom, leads to food waste. None of that we want. Number 2, do choose long-lasting foods. Now, this is really important because, again, they're going to be staying in your fridge. You're prepping for the week, right? Or if you want, prep until Thursday. So you want something that's going to last until that date. So opt for proteins like chicken, beef. They stay moist when they're cooked properly. Hearty vegetables, green beans, snap peas are great for snacks to add to meals. Broccoli, butternut squash, that really does retain its crunch factor and taste over time. So it maintains that. What I don't want you to do is pick quick wilting. Say this 3 times. Quick wilting vegetables.
I'll
Now,
leave that to you to
right-
say. Thank you.
Right off the top, as soon as I say that, we think of salads.
Yeah.
I am going to say avoid salad greens, but not entirely. So avoid
Really?
prepping them for the week. So if you prep them and you cut them and you rinse them and you spin them in your little lettuce spinner, your green spinner. What do they call the salad spinners? That's it.
Salad spinner. Yep.
Oh,
The salad
chopper?
spinner.
Yep.
Okay.
You put it in this, it's almost got like it's a bowl. It's got a colander inside, a lid. You press a button or you spin it and it dries off those little leaves of lettuce for you. You want all that water removed. So even if you're doing that, honestly, it will last a few days, nice and crisp, and then it starts, having a little bit of wear and tear. So I'm not saying stay away from it, just what I suggest you do with salads, salad greens and avocados. They can definitely be prepped separately and then prepped just before you're ready to consume it. So if it's a day or 2 in advance, sure. Anything longer, I probably wouldn't do. And then your dressings, just get that ready. You could do that for the week. Keep it in the refrigerator. That's good. Number 3, do prep your foods that you enjoy eating cold. Hear me out on this one. So fully cooked proteins and properly cooked grains, those are great options. So this ensures that you have nutritious options, even without reheating. Because here's the thing, we don't always have either a microwave or stovetop, an element to reheat our food, or even time to reheat it. So you want something that you could enjoy whether it comes to room temperature or enjoy it cold. So that would be my don't, is don't rely on microwaves or a way to heat the food. Think of foods that you could eat room temperature or cold as well. Guys ready for number 4?
Yeah, I think
Yep.
so. I'm thinking of my Tupperware salad spinner because we were talking Tupperware on the show yesterday, and how much I used to just love spinning salad. I'm you know, me and my salad stuff, but it was fun to get that sucker going. So awesome.
I
Okay,
spin
number 4.
everything in there. I spin
Yeah.
everything in there.
They're
Berries,
great.
grapes, you name it, I spin it.
Same.
Wow.
Same.
Very good. Okay,
Amazing.
number 4.
Number 4, switch up your menu weekly. Right? So grill different proteins, some steak, some chicken, keep your meals interesting. A variety of options and meal options. It prevents that meal fatigue, and then it
Yep.
keeps you
Yes.
motivated. Guys, I'm struggling with my words today. I have no idea. Maybe I haven't drank
No.
another
I
I haven't
think
drank
you're,
enough coffee.
No, for sure
Are we
you
talking
haven't done that.
about coffee?
Nazreen is
Your
all
morning
supporting that. Yeah, Nazreen's all behind that. Oh, and you're worried about that sneeze coming back. What sneeze?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what it is. My mind is on that sneeze.
But-
Like, it's going to creep up on me.
Yeah, Mary, I was gonna say for me, I've been through the recipe fatigue for such a long time, and I kept telling myself I need new recipes to change it up because I'm so tired of making the same 3, 4 things over and over. I just don't feel like cooking anymore. It's not
Yeah.
as interesting, as fun as it used to be, and and recently I started to kind of switch just the proteins. And we've
Exactly.
been on like no carb diet. So we've just been doing protein salad, and I got sick of salad. So I switched the types of salad, whether it's Caesar salad or adding chicken pieces to your salad or shrimp pieces to your salad. So it really makes a difference. I see where
Yeah,
you're coming
try a
from.
bean salad, a lentil salad.
Mhm. Yeah.
All you have to do, you can have, I mean, I'm not saying, constantly come up with
No.
creative ways to enjoy these
But
meals.
switch it.
Keep your staples, choose one. So if you're
Yeah.
prepping 3, right, keep the 2 staples, and then the third one, alternate that, rotate that with different recipes. And you'll feel like you're switching it up. And it's not really figuring out 3 different meals, 3 new meals every single week. Or it's not
Yeah.
eating the same 3 meals every single week. Some people can do it. And more power to you. I am not one of those people. I have to have something to switch up in between because it's not like you said, Nazreen, it's that fatigue. And it's that boredom I get with it.
Let's get 5 in
know.
because I'm watching the clock here.
Okay.
Yes, let's do it.
Right. That's my 5th one. Do stick to your plan. Consistency is key. So commit to your prep routine, build healthy habits, achieve your goals. And honestly, you'll enjoy that time-saving bliss that you get from all of it because we all want to save a little bit of time wherever we can. And don't view meal prepping as a chore.
Right.
I know it's difficult to do, but the minute you do that, you have to keep it fun and flexible like we were talking about. And if something isn't working, just adjust your approach. Just keep at it, adjust your approach. Meal prepping, it's all about making your life easier and healthier. Keep it simple, stay consistent, and have fun with it. Most importantly, have fun with it.
Okay. All right. I should do a little less watching clock and paying attention to my list and numbers here. Where do we go now, Mary? You have a choice. You got about 2 minutes.
We're going viral food. Yuzu fruit. It's small. It's this roundish pebble skin fruit. And according to Healthline, it helps reduce inflammation, promotes heart health, which is what we've been talking about. It also packs a powerful antioxidant and vitamin punch for its size. The size is similar to a mandarin. So this fruit, it can also be found in juices, jams, even in some grocery store produce aisles. Check in there. And it's you're going to notice a surge of it in 2025. It's been around for a little while, but there is a surge coming of this yuzu fruit.
Wow.
It has a taste profile more like sour than citrus. So I've heard that it's been described as a cross between lemon, orange, and grapefruit. I've tried it, but I've tried it in like a juice format where I've added it to certain meals. Like I've made it with some salmon, and I've made a little dressing to go on top of it, which is really nice. You can also make a little salad with this, make a yuzu dressing. All of it will go perfectly, and it'll add that little extra crunch. Like if you're making a salad, one thing I like, and we talked about this before, is adding crunch to our salads. I have to have a crunch in almost everything that I make. Something small. And in this one, do a mix of romaine, some iceberg, a little frozen corn, which you can actually just warm through underneath the tap. Hot water, put it in a colander, get rid of that freeze, and your corn is perfectly fine. Add that to your bowl. Some red pepper, some edamame, some chow mein noodles. Chow mein noodles, there's the crunch. Just pour those bad boys in. They're so good.
They're good, yes.
A little mandarin slices, shredded rotisserie chicken. You're good to go with a little yuzu vinaigrette. Beautiful.
Wow. What a way to wrap up the show, Mayor. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful talk today. Appreciate you joining us. Right from palm oil all the way down to a beautiful, crunchy salad. Thank you.
Thank you. And happy New
Mary
Year.
It's a perfect way.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a perfect way to end the show when we're going for lunch later. So.
Oh, yeah. Sounds really good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Nazreen Abdul-Majid joining me on the program. Mary Mammoliti wrapping things up with us. And Mark Aflalo handling all the controls on the other side on our Friday edition of the show. AMI Communications Specialist Greg David. He's going to hang out with us. He's going to talk about Popeye and Mickey Mouse. What's that? What's going on with them is they're headed to public domain. What is that going to mean for them? Are they happy, cheery, the way we kind of know them? Popeye pushing spinach or killing people? We'll see what he's got to say on all this when we visit tomorrow. We're waving at you, and Fedora's off to you. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks for tuning in to Kelly and Company. Follow us on all social media, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more.